Ryan Feddersen is an Indigenous artist from Tacoma, Washington. She is known for her site-specific installations and murals, often using historical research, digital tools, and traditional Indigenous Plateau storytelling techniques in her work. She created her first work for the State Art Collection in 2020, but this wasn't her first link to the Art in Public Places program.
Art is how we tell ourselves who we are as a society. Our culture is a direct reflection of our values and identity. And when you invest in public art, you are creating all of these instances for that to happen. Public art was something I was already interested in exploring. In my practice, I like to focus on communities and not collectors, and public art is a really great way to do that. Public art to me is a way that art is made directly for community without the intermediary of museums or galleries. And it's a way to make work that both speaks directly to community, but has this feeling of ownership, that people feel like it's theirs, and I think that they relate to it in a different way. That's something that is important to me in my practice, and so is one of the reasons why I pursued public art specifically. My art is usually project-based and site-specific, so each piece is addressing a different set of subject matter. I think about my work as visual allegories, and a lot of times what I'm trying to do is look at something that has an official history or an official narrative, and for the artwork to try to shift perspectives, to present a different way to look at something and to invite the viewer into that other perspective. I think that public art is a valid practice. A lot of people think about it as just a commission of your work, but the element of making work specifically for a community is what I find so interesting about it. And I think that it's not just an extension of my studio practice, that it is a practice of its own. Antecedents was commissioned for the University of Washington Population Health Building. Antecedents was set at the pedestrian entrance rather than being on the exterior of the building because I wanted people to see it when they came into work. The piece is developed to look like X-ray boxes, kind of looking at the history of diagnostics, and then each one of these X-rays represents a different pillar of life. The piece is intended to be a reminder that we are connected to all of the other kinship of life, and that we have to support their health, their populations, in order for us to be able to thrive as well. Currently, I'm working on the supervisors for the new house building, which will be the Senate offices as well as conference rooms. And the supervisors is composed of 4 parts. Each represents a different kind of biome and region in the state. And then they feature silhouettes of endangered species. The idea is that when the senators are making decisions for the state, that they're reminded that their constituents also include the different habitats throughout this area. And so the supervisors is kind of a playful way for these animals to have an inside view on these decisions and a reminder that they're watching. Growing up in an artistic family, using creativity to problem solve or to consider it as a valid career choice was something that I always felt was encouraged. My uncle, Joe Feddersen, who is also a professional artist, started to take a strong interest in kind of mentoring me as an artist, and right around the time I was finishing college, I'd seen this retrospective of his work. I walked in and I just saw all these different projects that brought forward our culture in these innovative, kind of symbolic ways, and I just thought how powerful that was, and it kind of shifted how I imagined I was going to be an artist. And I think that it inspired me to understand the importance of contributing to culture.